I just wanted to, just before we get into the AGM, I just wanted to say a few words. In your conference packs, you've all got a copy of the review of the year. It's the creamy coloured booklet. It's our equivalent this year of the director's report. I wanted to bring together some of the highlights and achievements of the past year. But before I do that, I just want to pay tribute to our incredibly hardworking and inspirational management committee. None of the things that we achieve at NCW would be achieved without our members and our management committee, who are working away very hard in the background, supported extremely tolerantly on many occasions by Sheila Rosewell. I know many of you are well known, but would the management committee just stand up? I'm just going to embarrass you for a moment. Those of you who are here, and I know there are several on Zoom. Gail is on Zoom, Penny is on Zoom, Wendy is, Elsie is, Alison is. So thank you so much. So I just want to say thank you to all of you. I'm afraid so, Anne, you are indeed. And in the last year, we've been joined by Ruth Batty, our Director for Development. She's there in the front on the left from your side. She's driving forward our work with developing our relationships with different women's organisations, particularly the members of the 6O, with women of all ages, all age groups. Ruth's unable to be with us today because she's having an operation, which is long awaited, and it fell today, of course. I'm also going to embarrass one other member who's sitting at the back. Jan Leventhal is leaving us this year. She's been a wonderful trustee and vice president for media and the arts for the past few years. An amazing job you've done with that subcommittee, Jan, because it's a multifaceted one. It has a wide remit covering our social media, which I think you'll all agree has gone from strength to strength in the last year, our website and our communications in general. So Jan, we are going to miss you a lot. We'll probably be on the phone to you from time to time to ask for your advice, but we're going to miss you at our management committee meetings and heading up the Media and Arts subcommittee. So thank you so much. And I'd just like to remind everyone that there are always opportunities for you to join us on Management Committee. We have a period now where you can come and be a member for 6 months or so, find out whether you like the feel of it, and then decide whether to stay with no obligation. So do think about it. We're delighted that Patricia Pritchard will be joining us on Management Committee in just that position to suss us out for a 6-month period. She was going to be here today, but unfortunately she's not well. Coming to what we've been doing in the last year, we've launched our series of online debates, and I think many of you have been part of them. They've been really well attended and attracted both members and non-members, which has been a delight because it spreads the word about NCW, and as these things happen slowly by osmosis, gradually people are joining the organisation from having encountered us on the online debates. We've done all sorts of topics like the issue of plastics in period products, online harassment of women in public life, and lifelong activism. And we're planning a diverse programme next year, which will include the one that I think Gail mentioned earlier on online safety, with a representative from Ofgem coming. Our international work has gone from strength to strength, and Anne and I were, oh, sorry, that should have been the online debate, sorry, apologies. Anne and I were delighted to go to Vilnius earlier in the year to the meeting of the European Council of Women, which was fascinating. Our work on online protection and the need to keep pressing governments to stand by their promises of legislation was adopted by European colleagues. And we had fun in Vilnius too. And our delegation to the United Nations Commission on the Status of Women shared expertise about our campaigns on climate change and its disproportionate effect on the lives of women in particular, and girls' education across the globe, which of course we were discussing earlier. So many of the issues that concern us here in Great Britain are similar to those of our sisters across Europe, which I think Martine highlighted as well. We strongly believe that when women's voices are heard across national boundaries, they're so much stronger, and we must be heard. And I'm delighted to be able to share news with you of an event just last Saturday, which was our first national event for young women. It was supported by a grant from the Lydie Rossini Trust, for which we're very grateful. Our Network 18 to 30 members were wonderfully represented by Abby Hunt and Helena Trenick, who both spoke of their experience as activists and with NCW friends and colleagues. We had young women from a whole range of different backgrounds, as you can see here, including a group of young women who were deaf. So we had interpreters at the meeting, which was, I think, a really interesting and sobering experience for us. And we are going to try in the next year to make more of our events accessible to people who are deaf by incorporating interpreters into our online debates and hopefully into our face-to-face meetings as well. So we've got plans to take forward this exciting and valuable work with young women into the next year and beyond. As I think has already been said today, they are the future. But for many years, sorry, my screen's just changed. For many years, we've championed intergenerational work between young women and those of us who are a little bit older. And I think it's one of the unique features of NCW that we've really managed to build on that work that was started by many of our colleagues and members, especially Gwenda, who I know is with us today. And it's together as younger women and older women and women in between across the whole spectrum that we can build a strong voice for women into the future. And of course, the core of our work is to raise our voices about the issues that matter to women. And we're being active in following up on our resolutions, making draft letters available to members so they can send them to their MPs and other colleagues, and so that our voices will be heard more widely than the letter, which goes obviously always from head office. And following up also with online debates, keeping these topics in the public eye. I think the plea was made at the end of our last resolution to spread this information further, and I see it as a very important part of our communication and social media work going forward, that we do just that. And of course, we have lots of ideas, but if any of you have got ideas and thoughts for the ways in which we can improve our spread of communication, then please don't hesitate to let us know. We're always really open to ideas and thoughts about that. So we're really optimistic about the coming year. We've re-established, I think, the firm foundations for NCWGB. We've made great links with other women's organisations, really active, positive links, and doing positive activities together, both at home and overseas. And we've got much more streamlined and effective communications with women of all ages and abilities. NCW is for everyone, and that's, I think, one of our great strengths. And we'll continue to debate, to educate, to inform and to influence, as we have done for the last over 125 years. Together, we'll be working to empower all women to achieve that fair and inclusive society that we want for everyone. Just thinking of our history, on the table behind us, there are the booklets that our Darlington colleagues brought, that Elsie, I think, had put together with lots of, Elsie and Wendy, lots of pictures of past presidents. So you may like to have a look at those in a break a little later on. So that was all I wanted to say we've got a really positive year coming up. I hope you'll all be part of that. Here in Darlington with, I know, your lively, active group, an amazing programme of speakers. I'll be back up to see you during the year.